Hello and welcome to A Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be your storyteller for this game about living gods on the wrong side of the law. Joining me for this game is...
Hey there, guys. My name is Tyler. Pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Riki, the fire-aspected street exorcist.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christina. I will be playing Ellion. My pronouns are she, her, and Ellion's pronouns are they, them. They are a water-aspected investigator.
Hi, everyone. My name's Cody. Pronouns are he, they, and I play Amalar Divine, the air-aspected shady businessman.
Hi, my name is Britt, and my pronouns are she and her. I play a wood aspect named Rush Fairus, who has a ferret familiar named Zeke. Together, they specialize in archery, larceny, and dance.
Hi, I'm Michaela, she, her, and I'll be playing Tirali of House Regara, an Earth-aspected leader of a small military force known as the Tyrants, who cooks the books for the gang.
And this is Exalted, like a dragon-blooded. Act 2, Sins of the Family. Oh, I should probably tell you what his guile is. So to remind you all about how the social stuff works and defenses and that kind of stuff is, the Exalt does not have to be aware that they are, being read to basically use integrity to up their guile or whatever. It just kind of it's one of those natural things that happens.
This motherfucker's gonna have a guile of 5 or something.
No, it's not that low. Try a guile of 9.
Ugh.
I'm very curious because I remember guile is actually kind of hard to get up.
It's integrity plus,
It's manipulation plus socialize plus specialty divided by 2 rounded up.
I thought guile was integrity.
I'm literally looking at the bottom of the sheet. It says guile is manipulation plus socialize plus specialty divided by 2 round up. That's why Ellion has such a low one, because Ellion's manipulation is low.
Well, then I'm going to have to switch shit around on his sheet, but yes, he is supposed to have a fairly high guile.
That's fine. When you said 9, I was like, how? How is that possible?
And I misspoke. I meant to say 8.
Okay, so I think I did the math right on how many extra dice I get. Plus, I'm going to throw another willpower in there for an automatic success. Because fuck this guy. I don't think I'm going to hit the guile, but I can try.
If you can double the guile, I'd be very... Oh, nope.
6 is still a pretty high roll, at least.
7, technically,
7, yeah.
Because you, did the willpower, but yeah. He's a little bit of a mystery. He's wearing that armor pretty well, but he's kind of a scrawny boy. And, he's got, this air of, mystery to him. But you don't doubt that the way that he's talking. He does seem like that maybe he knows his things. He does have kind of a smarty pants way to talk. And especially if that he's being truthful about his name, then he must have studied Flame Tongue very well, because he is speaking it perfectly.
Part of me just wants to be a dick and start rattling off different languages to see what he knows, but that's not relevant to this conversation right now.
So at this point, the guard is going to look at him and be like, "Sir, we believe that it would be best for you to have a local guide to help you out." And this guy kind of looks at him, and he just kind of goes, "How dare you speak down to a prince of the earth like that? Didn't your Tricon ever teach you any manners? Fine. You can come observe a master at work." And he just kind of looks at you and walks forward.
As I'm following him, I'm going to kind of just gently put a hand on the guard and give him that nod, thank you, without actually saying it out loud, and keep going.
The guard's demeanor increases as that you acknowledge how hurt that his feelings are.
Bro stuck his neck out for me and got shit for it, so...
That was the botch coming back to hit him. So, you are let in to the investigation. More guards are there. He waves them away as that he kind of adjusts his armor and just kind of clanks on through. And you are greeted with the sight of Resh Balar, the corpse, dead, with multiple arrows stuck through it. But most notably, there is one directly through the heart. And the one that is directly through the heart is, it has some of Ferris's telltale signs of like the foliage that grows out of her wood aspected hair, like on the shaft of the arrow. He looks over everything and begins the investigative process.
So, what all is he doing? Because I'm going to kind of look at him and be like, would you like me to give you some space while you work, or would you like me to assist?
Well, seeing as that we are clearly rivals in this investigative theater, I think that we should do our own investigations and then talk about it to see if that we can work together to see if maybe some of your local knowledge might pay off. Would you like to have the first shot at the body, or shall I?
Well, considering that I am only allowed to be here by your graces, I think it's only fair that I let you go first.
Well, let it not be said that some of you don't know your manners. Ha ha! And then he's going to basically set down an entire, like, kit and start, like, looking around the entire alleyway. And he's kind of, like, musing to himself as he does this. And he's like, well, clearly the arrow's trajectory should have... yes, he was... the look of shock. Betrayal most foul. And, like, he's not touching the body because he wants to give you the proper opportunity to try as well. But he is very much not giving this person the dignity that they deserve.
Ellion will remember this.
And it takes him quite a bit to do it. Like, despite all of his musings and everything, just a basic observation of him, you can tell that he is, if nothing else, fairly competent at this job. And once that he packs up, he looks to you and he kind of clanks against the alley wall, and he goes, well then, Ellion, it's your turn.
Sorry, I gotta crack my knuckles as I literally prepare to just throw the investigation dick out.
You're under the assumption that he wasn't doing the same thing.
Well, I know. I just have to do math on my end, too. Because I also have a specialization in crime scenes for investigation. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the description, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm throwing at it.
Okay, please.
So we've got the body on the ground, we've got the arrows in it, and you said it's in the alleyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ellion's going to look at where, like, get down on the ground, like even put head down on the ground, trying to avoid touching any blood or anything off the bat. Look at how the body is laying on the ground to kind of see where the arrow trajectory comes from. See if there's any that might have come from different angles, if they all line up in the same position or not. So, to make sure it's not, more than one person doing this, trying to make it look like, hey, there's one person in this window and then above it, another person shot. Taking note that they do look like Ferris's arrows, just to cross-compare them, because obviously Ellion has seen them, and want to make sure that they are not made to look like Ferris's arrows. Also going to look to see if there's any blood smear, to see if the body's been moved at all. check any exposed skin, see, because we just saw him like the day before, I think it was, or something like that, very recently. See if there's anything that looks off from the last time we saw him. Ellion's going to look to, how did you say to pronounce their name?
Seek.
Seek. They're going to look at Seek. May I touch the body or any of the arrows to turn it over, just to look at the back of it?
Not until you've concluded this part of your process, unless, of course, you wanted to give me room to do that as well.
I don't mind doing that, but I'll just do a preliminary visual before anything else. And they're just going to turn back. Going to look around the alley to see if there's any indication of a scuffle. Basically trying to see if the body was placed here, potentially murdered somewhere else. Like any drag marks on the ground that would indicate this. What's the floor made of? I know it's a weird question.
The floor is made of sand.
Okay, so then looking for feet prints, footprints, shoe prints, anything that looks out of sorts, anything that might have been dropped in the sand. Obviously, we can tell, what Ellion's footprints look like and Seek's footprints, since we're right around here. Where the footprints are going through, if there's a lot that have passed by, have gotten covered up or worn down, just a general scuffle check, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I will give you a 2-dot stunt for that. So that is 2 extra dice, regen of willpower, and you get an auto success.
Good, because I'm also going to throw that willpower back into this anyways. So that saves me having to change my character sheet at all. So to start off with, I'm throwing the excellency into this. I'm going to spend 6 motes to get 3 successes. And it also lets me reroll 6s till they cease to appear. I am also going to throw scent of crime method in there. It doubles 9s on investigation, since that's what I'm using for this, I assume. And it also lets me so it doubles 9s on the investigation roll to detect the presence of a character that has made a larceny roll. So I guess that's a separate roll, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Or would that be a supplemental roll to this?
That would be so rolling to detect a character who has made a larceny roll. The larceny roll is already set. That's basically the difficulty of however that this was done. It's basically the crime roll.
Okay, so I could add this into this, technically.
If a crime roll was made, then yes. Weirdly, murder isn't a crime roll, but if, the body was placed a certain way, that would be a crime roll.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if I add this in or if I would need to make a separate roll or not.
For the sake of the mystery, I'm going to say add it in, and then if I tell you that it actually wasn't moved and this was just a murder, I will let you refund the essence.
Okay, so that one's 4 motes. So I'm going to double 9s as well as reroll 6s. For larceny made within 3 hours. I don't know if that's really going to help because I assume this was made longer than 3 hours ago, but who knows?
It was, in fact, it has been more than 3 hours since the murder took place.
Okay, I'm still going to use it in case some other larceny was done to, cover up evidence.
Okay, fair.
Now, here's a fun question. Does the body count as a piece of evidence?
For purposes of storing?
No, for bloodhound nose technique. A case scene roll with double 9s to investigate a piece of evidence. I guess I don't really need to do that because I already have double 9s.
Well, you're only getting double 9s on the crime roll, right?
The double 9s are for if the larceny was made.
You know what? Let's do 2 rolls. Let's do the initial investigation, and if you discover that there is some shady bullshit going on, then that would be a secondary investigation.
Yeah, it's weird because there's a lot, because I have stuff for tampering detection as well. So
okay.
So I guess I'll just make an initial like investigation roll,
Yeah,
and then I'll do
investigation roll, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so then I'm just going to use the either way, Bloodhound or Son of the Crime are both 4 motes. One's just an extra willpower, which I don't care burning, but they both double 9s. I guess I'll just use the Excellency and Scent of Crime for right now, which would do the larceny roll part of it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird, so.
So that's the Excellency and double 9s for the investigation, is that correct?
Yeah. So I have, so far I've got 5 successes, 2 extra dice, and I can reroll 6s until they disappear, and then I double 9s.
How do you have 5 successes? Oh, you have something that gives you successes based on your essence, don't you?
I have I spent 3 to get the excellency thing, which I spend 2 motes per success, and I have investigation specifically for crime scenes, so I can do up to 6 motes.
Okay.
So there'll be 3 successes. The one from the willpower and the one from the stunt.
Okay. I just wanted to. My brain kind of went, wait, these are solar numbers. What are you doing?
I'm good at what I do, and I'm throwing a lot into this.
Okay, that's fair.
It's going to should be perception and awareness, I assume, which is 10 dice. I've got the 2 extra dice, and then since it's a visual, I assume I can do my visual perception dice also.
Yep.
So I'm going to be rolling 14 dice. So I got 4 successes. I get to reroll those 2 6s. So that's 5 successes plus another 5 successes that are automatic, plus I double 9s. So math. 12?
Yes. Because you had 10 and then you had 2 9s, so you just add another 2.
Yeah, 12 successes. And I only spit 6 motes of 6 motes. Or 10 motes, I mean. Math.
Going over this without touching the body is incredibly frustrating. I cannot begin to tell you how frustrating that it must be for an investigator. All's fair in what you're doing. The first thing that you kind of notice that stands out to you is that, yes, these are in fact Fairus's arrows. They're older, but they are her arrows. The look on the body shows that the death most likely happened before that he had the opportunity to react. You do not see Balar's knives on him. It looks like they may have been stolen off of his body. Or he kept them somewhere else.
Like elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. The sand of the alleyway is disturbed, but also in such a way that people have clearly been through here. People have been walking here. The winds, you are in a seaport. There are winds that blow through here. However, in looking at everything, you do see that while that you can't tell where that he may have been based off of the sand, you do notice that there is no pool of blood where he died. The way that his arms are, it looks like that he was struggling to get the arrows out of him. And it looked like, based off of the way that the arrows look, and are inside of them, it looks like that what ended up killing him is him trying to pull the arrow out towards him. Like, the one in his heart, like, if he were to be, like, he would have been grasping the tail of the arrow and trying to pull it backwards out of him. And that is most likely what actually did him in. Is there anything else that I missed on that?
Trajectory. As in, where does it look like if he were killed here, unless I missed that because I was just typing everything. If he were killed here, where would the arrows have been fired from?
If he were killed here, the arrows would have had to have been fired from a second-story window. Which, considering that he's in the middle of, like, 2 towers, which, like, the second-story windows don't open. Like, they don't open until you get up to, like, story 10 in the towers.
Just out loud, out of character musing. More than likely he was brought here.
Oh, you came to that same conclusion too, did you?
Yes.
I figured that out when I noticed that there was no pool of blood here. Normally this many arrows would cause a rapid exsanguination into the sand around here. And unless, of course, that Chiaroscuro has a bunch of blood-drinking demons about that we're not aware of, well, obviously he was brought here from somewhere else.
I have an out-of-character question, Brendan.
Yes.
Would... I think the answer is pretty much no, but I have to ask anyways. Would Ellion know anything about any types of rituals that involve removing a heart from a person for any reason?
What's your occult rating?
2.
Do you have any specialties that would be relevant to that? Because I kind of think I know what you're getting at.
I'm sure you probably do.
So I'm going to say you probably don't have that. If you want to have a clue given to Ellion, I'll let you roll an intelligence and occult. It's going to be a fairly high difficulty because I don't see Ellion as the kind of person who really trucks around with the Immaculate Order who might know something about this.
Yeah, I will try the roll. I don't have high hopes for it, but I'll go ahead and try it.
You know what they say, Christina. You gotta have high hopes for a living.
Wow, 7 successes on 7 dice.
Wow.
Brendan, what is that roll?
That's impressive is what it is. You get the idea suddenly. You don't really deal with religion. It's really not your thing. But you have heard of the Wild Hunt before. And you have heard stories about what that they fight. It's kind of hard not to. You know, demons that go around eating people and then inhabiting their skin after they hollow out the heart. You don't know, you can't really remember what they're called besides, anathema. But, so if you were to have a basis of it, you know that you might be able to talk to someone who is in with the local Immaculate Order and might be able to get some information. Or there could be someone else, but you kind of know that what you might be dealing with here are anathema, which you have dealt with before. In both good and bad versions.
I was going to look at Seek. So since we've done our preliminary viewing, I have a somewhat odd question or request, since, again, I would prefer you to be able to touch the body since you are the head investigator on this for the Tricon. Would you be willing to remove the arrow in his heart and very respectfully open his shirt to make sure his heart is still in place?
Well, I would be absolutely willing to do that. However, I don't think that this kind of motions at the alley and the sand and kind of like kicks a little bit of sand around. I don't think this is exactly the best place to be doing that. Why don't let's find one of the local funeral homes.
That's fine.
We'll find a place to do this that isn't the middle of this alleyway.
Yes, that would be the follow-up I was going to add. I just wanted to make sure you were amenable to doing that before I requested we take it to a different venue, a secondary location.
He's going to nod, and he's going to, he's going to do the little clap his hands at the guards, and then he's going to, all right, bring him back to my quarters. We're going to do the investigation there. Have you ever been to one of these towers before? I got to rent a room here. I wanted to use it.
Yes, I have.
Fantastic. Then we'll bring the corpse up there.
Yes, we'll bring Resh Balar up there.
He just kind of nods to you and starts going towards the tower while the guards clean up things and bring Resh Balar with them.
How are they? This is more just for Ellion. That moment of Ellion will remember this. How are the guards treating the body?
With respect and due dignity. This was the Prince of the Earth.
Good.
So you guys go and get up there, and you take the elevator. It's not as high as you guys' tower, so it's much less impressive. And you go to set the body down.
My dodge rating, my evasion,
Yes, your evasion.
it's a 5 unless I'm taking cover from a ranged attack. Then it's a 6.
Okay. Do you think that you can beat a 10? Like through charms and stunting.
Hold on. I have charms for this. You said he's at my feet? Like on the ground at my feet?
He is. So I will let you know there is an attack coming.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. But Nami, why?
To describe what is happening. Minami falls to the ground, and as that he does, Tirali instinctually is watching him, and Tirali being a former member of the realm, and knowing some of the immaculate and a very good martial artist, Tirali immediately realizes that Minami is using a rare but useful martial art known as orgiastic fugitive style, or what we in the real world would call drunken master style.
Oh my God. Okay.
He has just used the charm. Drunken monk loses his sandal and has stumbled onto the ground, and then as soon as he hits the ground, people like their brain kind of takes a moment to realize that he didn't hit the ground face first, but instead tumbled behind Fairus and is going to pop up and try to get her in a grapple from behind.
Oh my God. Okay. We calm down here for a second. When he starts to like fall and like go down to her, like tumble towards her, Fairus will attempt to like spin out of the way, kind of like a quick roll dodge, if you will, where she kind of like would like roll off the person and try to roll off to the side, and then if there's like a chair or a couch or whatever in this like meeting room, kind of flip over it to get to the other side of it.
Okay.
I have the excellency for dodge, threshold warding stance. So I'm going to spend... How much dodge points do I have? 4. I have 4 points in dodge. So I can spend...
4 motes to get it up to 7.
The 4 motes to get it to 7 from my personal. And then I have Flickering Candle Meditation. The dragon blood dances like a flame around the flaws in her enemy's attack. Once on her enemy's attack roll, allow her to ignore that many points of penalty to her evasion. And it costs 1 mote and 1 initiative, though. So would I only be able to do that in a fight?
We're not going to worry about the initiative cost at the moment.
All right, so
because he's basically ambushing you.
Can I actually change where I'm taking all of my motes from, and I'm going to change it to my peripheral? Because that'll put me at 5 and make me glowing.
Okay.
So I added 2 to my evasion, making it a 7. And I ignore 1s on his attack roll. I ignore 1s on his attack roll. For that many points of penalty to my evasion.
Well, you don't have any penalties to your evasion right now, so that actually doesn't really make any difference right now.
Okay.
The main thing that I'm looking for is, can you get it to a 10?
Yeah, no, I cannot get it to a 10. Even with me spending those motes.
I mean, like, with the description of the dodge and everything, I would absolutely give you a 2-point dodge on that, but that would only get you to a 9, which does not beat his 10. So, things are going to start happening very quickly as he pops up behind you, and you did go over the futon here and start trying to dodge out of his way, but he's weirdly fast with this. He's there to try to stop you from getting out of his way. And he is going to make... he's already made his attack roll. It succeeded. I need you to make me an opposed strength plus brawl or martial arts, whichever is higher.
Okay.
As he goes to grapple you.
5. 5 successes, baby.
Holy shit.
Even if it doesn't beat it, I am still proud of that roll.
So, to let you know, as that he is coming in for the grapple, you can... His own anima is going up with yours. You have you have a wood aspect that is bringing like fragrances of like the forest to the air, and in return, his own anima is bringing forth the smells of cooked meat and fermented alcohol, the smells of a bar on a busy night around him that are intermingling with everything else, as he is also using essence to get the better of you.
Oh boy, it's like some weird dance. That's danger. It's a danger dance. Manami, why?
He beats you by 2, which means that for 3 rounds, he has control of the grapple.
Uh-huh.
The way that this grapple looks is he takes you like under the shoulder, like under one shoulder, and like pins your arm as quickly as he can. And he's quick now that he's exalted.
Yeah.
The other arm gets pinned underneath his strong arm, and you can feel up against the soft flesh of your neck a steak cutting knife.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
All right, then. I'm taking the little missus out. We're going to turn her in for fratricide, and then we're going to get back to the bottom of this. Capiche? Everyone good?
Not really good.
Not really good? What do you mean not really good? She killed her own brother.
I did not kill my brother.
That's not what my boss says. My boss says that she saw you do it.
And honestly, I'm offended, Manami, that you would think that.
My boss said that you killed her and that you killed him and that she saw you do it.
How? When?
Yesterday, with your arrows from the top of the building near the alleyway that he was found dead in. Those were your arrows.
Yesterday, I was not on top of any building. I was sitting by the water.
He's concerned, thinking hard. You tell me that my boss is lying to me?
I'm telling you that your boss is lying to you. Fairus is going to look at him. Well, she's going to not look at him because of the grapple, but she's going to definitely have a, like, pleading look in her eyes, but also, like, her tone is a little offended and aggressive. But her eyes are in, like, a pleading, like, why are you doing this to me?
You can, Tirali specifically can tell, because she has a better look at him than you do, that he doesn't like where he is, but he feels like he's between like a rock and a hard place. He basically has orders from his boss to bring you in, but you guys have helped him at every opportunity. It's like, it's that feeling of having to go down and tell your friend that you work with that they're fired.
Who's this boss again?
His boss is Izasotava. The one who got them all the spot in Mollusca Bay. That was her big claim to fame.
Yeah.
And I'm nowhere near this situation, right?
Correct. You are nowhere near this situation. This is all happening while that you are dealing with Resh Volar.
Sure.
Nami, I'm telling you, I didn't do it. And honestly, if your boss is saying that they saw me do it, maybe they're the one that did it.
He looks from you and then to Tirali, and like, you can see that like his hand on the knife is shaking, and not in a good way. In like the wrong word could deal some lethal damage right here.
Fairus will stop talking.
And he looks at Tirali and he goes, "Listen, you were my friend on the inside when they had me up there for being an anathema or whatever the fuck. Can you corroborate this? Is she telling the truth?"
With the amount of eyes I have in the city, I can confidently corroborate.
Whoever wants to can roll their charisma and presence to convince him. You are his friends, and while that he is up against a rock and a hard place here, you guys have done him a solid in the past. He has an effective resolve of 3 against you guys. Whoever wants to roll, please let me know, and please let me know any stuff that you want to do. For both of you working together, I will give you guys a 2-dot stun. So that would be 2 extra dice, an automatic success, and a willpower restored.
I'm going through charms real quick. Surprisingly, I don't have any presence charms. But I have 4 in charisma and 3 in presence.
What about you, Tirali? Do you want to give it the old go to try and get the knife-wielding maniac off of your friend?
Yeah, and thankfully I kind of beefed up some of my present stuff, so I am looking at which charm I want to do.
That's totally fair.
Poor Zeke is probably so traumatized right now.
You took that ferret into a prison. This is nothing compared to that.
Yeah, but he didn't see someone who he trusted holding his faithful partner by a knife. Come on now. That's a different kind of pain, Brendan.
I had to make sure that this matriarch was actually in town for the meeting, because I was like, I don't remember her being in town. So I was like, how is she going to look like see Fairus do something if she's not here? She was here. I just had her name written wrong.
How was she going to see Fairus do shit when Fairus didn't do shit?
Yeah, how's someone going to do that in a world where that there are creatures that can shapeshift?
Yeah, like how could they?
How
So
could they? And I'm not even just talking about lunars.
Yeah.
This could be some Fae shenanigans, which I know Christina's gonna love.
It's not like Ellion's got someone who can shapeshift and isn't a fan of them or anything like that. I'm not saying that's what this is, but it is an option.
Ultimate plot twist, we find out Zeke learned how to shoot a bow and arrow, and he was the one that killed him. He was jealous of all the time Fairus spent with her brother and not him.
All right, so with my glowing coal radiance, I'm going to spend 4 motes to get 2 auto successes, plus the auto success we already get. And then I will roll 11, which is going to be my charisma presence plus the 2 that we get.
Oh yeah, that's better than my 7.
Okay, yeah. Unless, of course, you get 0 successes and 4 ones, this is going to work, Michaela.
I know, I just wanted to have fun with it. But I also get to add additional die if I get any 10s. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm just going to let Tirali handle this, and Fairus is going to stop talking because there's a knife up against her neck.
She gets
there's a 10.
Another 10. There's a 10.
Damn.
So we got
Okay.
7 successes plus 3 auto successes, which is going to give us 10 successes.
Okay.
Whoa.
With
I do a
10
very good
successes-
speech.
Do you want to give a very good speech, or do you want to just say you give a very good speech?
I will give you the overview. I'm not going to do an actual speech, but I give him a very impassioned speech about, our time in prison, about trust, about family, because, Tirali is very big on family. She's got 3 dots in that as like a thing for her. So she gives and how he's supposed to be a part of like our family. So I give a very impassioned speech and make him really rethink what he's doing.
Right. Anyway, so you give an impassioned speech about family and the importance of sticking together and the time that you all did in prison and how that this isn't him. And he relinquishes the grapple on Fairus. The knife disappears into the ether. Or, I guess, into elsewhere in this case.
Oh,
Damn.
he has elsewhere weapons. Fuck.
I wanted to smack it out of his hand. Like, what bam?
He doesn't have elsewhere weapons. He has an elsewhere kitchen.
Oh shit.
He's the exogen of cooking. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh shit.
He sinks to the ground on his knees, and he kind of like looks to Tirali and bows his head and like puts it down on the ground, and he's just like, listen, I'm so sorry. I got the news this morning, and my boss, she's real good at the speeches. She's real good at getting you fired up. And I came here wanting to just stop it, because she convinced me that you did in your own kind, and I don't kin to that. But I had my doubts. Y'all did help me get out of that damn prison. Y'all helped me every single time that I didn't deserve it. I'm sorry.
Fairus, as soon as he lets go of her, tries to get as much distance as she can. Probably heads back to stand in the doorway of her room, grabbing Zeke, and just listens to him talk and just frowns.
And as you do, we're going to swing the camera very quickly over to Riki and Resh Falar, who have recently escaped their ordeal in the bureaucratic guild headquarters.
Ooh.
Well then, that was quite the adventure. I didn't think that would work.
Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant there for a second too. I think what really sold it is you fucking punching me in the jaw. You really sold that one, didn't you?
Which one?
Oh, there was two? The first one must have been hard enough for me to not fucking remember the second.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to sell, and then you told me to...
Well, you know what? Welcome to the fucking market. It's sold. Anyway.
You did tell me not to punch you like a little bitch, so I decided to put my all behind that last one.
Fellow fire aspect here, it's a bit of a shame I had to tell you. But anyway, we're out of there now.
Oh, right. So what did you come to find me about?
Oh, well, now I feel like kind of a douchebag because I've just given you a hard time. You heard about your brother, yeah?
No, what's he gotten himself into?
Death.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a little bit disrespectful. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was attacked by someone using a bow and arrow. There was someone's trying to frame your sister, and we're trying to stop that from happening, basically.
She nods solemnly and sighs. Well, now that just makes the thing that I was trying to do within the guild headquarters seem like, well, honestly, kind of small potatoes.
Man, now you're making me hungry. Maybe we can stop by Manami's for some fucking curry before we go back to the base.
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic.
Oh, okay, good. Settled. Oh, settled. We're on the way.
The light coming in, and this is something that everyone who's outside sees. Divine, Fular, Riki, Ellion. But in the tower, there's a unique view of this, as you all aren't on the ground level. The light begins to dim from outside. But it's noon. There's something that I believe that Christina knows about this, but I don't think that the rest of you know about. There's a event that happens in the real world that we all hear about from time to time and sometimes do take for granted as a thing that just kind of happens. Sometimes you go out and see it, sometimes you don't. It's just a thing that happens every couple of years, or maybe even twice a year sometimes. But in creation, it has been thousands of years since a solar eclipse has happened. This is not something that has happened not only within your lifetime or your grandparents' lifetime. A solar eclipse is something that has not happened in the lifetime of the realm or the shogunate before it. And right outside that damn window, there is a goddamn solar eclipse going on. And while that Riki and Divine and Ellion see that, and it is something that we will find out their reactions to soon enough, to the two of you who are within the 82nd floor of this tower, you notice something more. Something at ground level. One of them close to the undermarket. One of the undermarket entrances that you know. And another close to the district that houses Grandmother Bright. There are two pillars of golden light erupting from ground level. So as you all are on the way, everything is kind of happening, and people have moments to look to the sky on the first day of Relmir 765. This is when, as I meant, this is when this scene happens, where that, for the first time in centuries, there is a solar eclipse. Suddenly, in the middle of the day, it goes dark. The moon eclipses the sun, and things seem off the same way that they did during calibration. And for those of you who are higher up, you can see 2 points of golden light blazing from Chiaroscuro. For those who are lower down, Divine, unfortunately, was still underground dealing with talking to Salon, correct?
Yes, the lowest of lowdowns.
Riki, on the other hand, is at about ground level, where that you can see around the corner in this suddenly dark night, or dark day, there is blazing gold coming from around the corner. Thank you for taking the time to enjoy our show. If you liked what you heard, why not leave a review or tell a friend about us? It helps get the good word out about the work we put into this show. If you wanted to ask us any questions, you can contact us through Twitter at apairofdicelost or email at apairofdicelost@gmail.com. The theme song for this game is Dragon Dance by Raphael Crux, used under a Creative Commons license. And for making it this far, I saw that cool thing you did, so have some stunt dice. Necessary roll that would definitely make sense for this. I think charisma and... I'm trying to pull up the character sheet because I'm a doofus and didn't have one pulled up.
Bureaucracy, maybe?
I mean, this isn't exactly the handling of paperwork, but I could see it working.
It's being, like, kind of diplomatic in a weird way, and this is, like, high-ranking stuff here. I don't know, I'm just trying to throw ideas out there. Socialize? The other one I have is Glassholm.
Oh, great.
Wasp, glass, wasp.
Yeah, no, that's the other one I have written here. The first one is Glassholm.
And I forgot to mention, I'm also doing kind of the thing that I did with Cody last time, where that we kind of did the social role before the roleplay finished, so then we kind of knew how the scene was actually going to go based on the dice. I probably should have stated that.
Say that one more time?
So, last time when we did Cody's scene that was lost to the ether, I had Cody roll his dice about halfway through the social interaction. So that, like, you know, Cody doesn't give, like, a huge speech and yada yada and then completely fucks it up. And then, you know, you can kind of, like, adjust the social scene as you see the dice rolls.
Okay.
It's something that I'm trying to get used to doing because I've run into situations where that you have, like, this big social speech you get, and then the dice tell you to get fucked, and that doesn't feel good. Whereas with this gives you an opportunity to, like, kind of yes-end the dice and then maybe catch yourself at the end.
Okay.
You're treating it more like an extended check.
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of like what I did to Michaela in D&D when they were talking to those awful people in the town.
Yeah, and then it was like, well, you kept talking, so we're going to give you another check. Oh my god, I fucking lost the name for this guy. It was just in my notes. And I had to look at something else. Give me one moment.
You're fine. I'm trying to, like, figure stuff out, too. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw what I can. I already don't like this guy, so...
I don't like him either.
He reminds me of like, I hate making this reference, but he reminds me of that like obscenely awful Harry Potter character that just didn't know what he was actually doing.
He reminds me of Future Divine. Too full of
Okay,
himself.
so
Yeah, Lockhart, that dude.
also Cody, absolutely, without a doubt, that GIF, that guy.
I don't recognize that gif.
As soon as you said gentleman investigator, I was like, that gentle criminal. That guy.
What is that from? I know I've seen that before.
My Hero Academia.
Oh, I either am not far enough in that or I don't remember that.
I think isn't it like, I think it's like season 2 or 3?
It's like season 3.
Which is around when I stopped watching it.
It's the second half of the season after the all for one for all fight.
Yep, I didn't get past that, so that makes sense.
You know, if you were gonna pick a point to stop, that's it.
I need to go back and watch it. But anyways, damn, I'm trying to think what I want to do with this now.
Wait, you guys have literally dealt with solars and lunars. Fuck. I'm regretting the Prison Break episode.
Prison Break's not even the first time we dealt with them.
Stand by, because my Google Docs is not responding.
When was the first time you all dealt with a lunar, Cody? Or a solar?
What the fuck was Salon's cousin? A thing.
Not either of those.
No, not one of those either.
Yeah.
You dealt with an anathema, but anathema is a very broad term. You know what? That's what we're going to say. Anathema is a very broad term.
So, I couldn't write any of that down because my Google Docs froze. So I don't remember everything you said, unfortunately. I remember the Wild Hunt and removing hearts, and I don't remember the rest of it.
That's most of it. And then I kind of realized that you all had the Prison Break episode and went, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah, so Ellion's got a basis for it.
Find one of the local embalming area. Wait, no, they didn't embalm back there.
Never go to a secondary location.
And that's where we're going to leave off for the episode stinger, and also to stop recording for the night. Well, not for the night, but for this part. Get out of here, Craig.
I have to know on a purely like what's the word I'm looking for? A purely like selfish an ego level. Did you actually roll for what he noticed?
Yes, I did.
What did he roll? Well, how many successes, I should say?
Comparable.
Okay.
He is a dragon. He like you is specialized.
Just making sure.
I wanted to give you someone to play off of.